All right, y'all. Breaking news out of Clemson, South Carolina, with Korey Foreman, the number one player in the country, decommitting from the Clemson Tigers. So while this is a huge blow on the surface because of the momentum that Clemson has had the past few seasons in recruiting, where normally we wouldn't see Clemson really in it for these type of players, not in a large scope, right? It may get a guy like this, and then maybe the next player will be ranked maybe in the 30s or 40s or something like that. We've just never seen over the course of the Dabo Swinney era where they were just back-to-back number one players, being able to stack guys across the line of scrimmage. That's some Alabama type stuff, right? So that's what makes Clemson scary in the future, that even without a guy like Korey Foreman, this team got damn Myles Murphy in the last class at a defensive end spot. As a matter of fact, let's look at it right now. So my boy Myles Murphy from right here in Georgia. Of course, you know Clemson does his thing in Georgia. It is getting the guys that have vacated from Georgia really taking a more national approach, and Clemson taking a Peach State approach and grabbing guys like Myles Murphy. And, of course, Bryan Bresee, the number one player overall. So they were going for back-to-back number one overall players along the line of scrimmage. Korey Foreman with Bryan Bresee and Myles Murphy. A guy like Tyler Davis, who will be a sophomore, which means he'll be a junior by the time Korey Foreman would have got there. But to me, stuff like that is never over until it's over. But speaking of Tyler Davis, man, looking like a baby Grady Jarrett out there. You guys just don't know how great this kid is and what he's going to do over the next couple of seasons. 5.5 sacks at a freaking shade, right? Some of you dudes got these overhyped ass edge players, can't even get you 5 sacks. He did it as a shade. A shade. Dude is super disruptive. So him along the line of scrimmage, you're going to have guys like Justin Mascall that I think will still be there as a senior. Even a guy like KJ Henry, right? If he's not gone somewhere else, 5-star cat like that, maybe he comes to fruition. But these guys are loaded amongst the line of scrimmage. So it can afford a hit like a Korey Foreman. But like I said before, it's never over until it's over. If anybody out there right now in fucking April talking about recruiting, to me, you don't know shit about recruiting. There is so much stuff that's going to change. Like people saying so-and-so got the greatest class of all time and this and that. It's way too. If you really know about recruiting, man, recruiting hasn't even started yet. I'm not talking about because of the situation in the world. It's just the recruiting calendar itself. It just has not started yet. You don't have senior film, first and foremost. That's what really counts, senior film, re-rankings and stuff like that. For all we know, a guy like Korey Foreman may have dipped, right? Sometimes you'll see these guys as number one and they end up number 15 or something like that. I don't expect it with that kid because he's extremely talented, and I think he's at a position of need. Those guys will always be ranked high, very value positional edge player type, over 250, 260 pounds or whatever like that. But that's what I'm saying. It's way too damn early in recruiting for anybody to put money in the bank on what some class is going to be like and this and that. But as far as Clemson goes, man, Darnell Jeffries and guys like that, they will be just fine. But it's never over until it's over. He cited that he wants to stay closer to home. So I don't know what that entails if he wants to stay in the state of California. It could be a coup for the University of Southern California or whomever out there. I usually put my money on it right now, though. It's usually a team like Oregon, right? If they see what Oregon is doing, Oregon is going to have a great year, could potentially go to the playoffs. A team like Oregon could definitely make some noise with this kid. But I would like to see SC get back to being SC. And back in the day, these type of guys would have never not gone to SC and made themselves a superstar out there at the University of California, one of the most storied programs in the history of college football. So I want to see the West get back to being the West. I want to see there just be balance and parity all throughout college football, man. That'll make it fun, not just teams from the South. And not just teams from the Big Ten or whatever like that. So we got to see what the West Coast is about. But we'll keep it locked on here and think about a guy like Korey Foreman. These kids say something and then it'll change the very next month. That's just what it is. We've all been kids before. You never know. He could very well end back up in Clemson's class, especially with the type of recruiting that they do at Clemson and the type of cachet that program brings. And it is what it is, man. But as the world turns out there, so let me know, some of you guys out there, where you think Korey Foreman could end up. Where would you like to see him end up? And keep in mind that he said he wants to stay closer to home. So I already know people are going to be coming in here with Georgia and Alabama and all this and that. I Don't doubt by any stretch of the imagination that those teams will be on this guy, but we'll just take his word right now for face value that he wants to stay closer to home. But knowing what I know about those two programs in particular, he will be hearing from them as soon as the next 5 minutes probably. That's just what it is, man. That's how those guys do it, all right? But keep it locked right here, man. As the world turns in college football recruiting, it's your boy Murf, the Underground King, top Billin Sports, and I am out. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.